I don't think Canada is ready for a recession. That 25% tariff does add another layer of complexity with potential widespread of economic impacts. Whether or not Alberta is the right province for you to migrate to. But when I found God, I don't know, something changed. Welcome to Alberta. Before we begin today's video, I will be reading a quote from one of my bookmarks, and this one says, "To bring about change, you must not be afraid to take the first step," right? To bring about change, you must not be afraid to take the first step. And this is what we're doing here in 2025. Hello, everybody. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Darcy King. Thank you for joining me in today's video. Today's video, we're starting off our professional development series. Now, do know I will be touching on personal development, but we're starting off with the professional development, especially with the current changes we're seeing with that trade war between Canada and the USA. 25% tariff. My goodness. My business. Oh my goodness. What will my customers be saying? Anyhow, this quote is taken from one of my newest addition to my business, Darcy King Organics. God, oh my God, let me tell you something. Before we get into today's video, let me tell you something. I have been on a spiritual journey since last year, and God touched someplace in my heart, October. And what he did for me, he gave me vision on how to build my business, he changed everything about my business. So before I get into today's video, I want to say, Lord, I thank you. I want to bring your presence right now in today's video. The information that I am going to share, let it be inspiring to those who are viewing it. Let it touch people. Let it bring people to your kingdom, Father. I want to thank you with the changes you're doing in my life, in my business. I want to thank you. I want to thank you so much for everything that you are blessing me with. God, you are the foundation of my plans. You are the foundation of my business. I put you before any plans that I have. As we continue with today's video, I pray that you provide me with the wisdom, knowledge, and direction on how to provide the right information to those who are viewing. Okay, welcome everybody. Again, you know who I am, Darcy King. I want to share something phenomenal with you. My son Zane, he has been working very hard on launching anti-bullying awareness, and he is doing it through creating bookmarks and stationery products. He is 8. I want you guys to just be supportive of him. He's worked so hard, and I am encouraging him. Anything that I get myself involved with, I want to encourage him so that he could build and create himself, like his mind on becoming entrepreneurial. So these are some magnetic bookmarks. I also have a collection for those of you who love affirmation. My son has affirmation bookmarks. He also has bookmarks for the for his teachers. So this one is "Thank you for helping me grow," and he has the anti-bullying and positive affirmation bookmarks. Each of them has a heading, and I believe he has 10 different bookmarks with quotes on them. So this one is inclusion, okay? And this magnetic bookmark reads, together we're stronger, together we're better. It's a magnetic bookmark. You open it like this and you place it on the kids' books, and like he says, it's kids friendly colors. He has different bookmarks. He also has the 2x6 or 7, and these ones you just put it in the book with a little tassel. This he created for Black History, so this one is his and this is the one I created. So you'll see the difference. So he created this on his own and this one is mine. The one I created is called Dream Like Martin, Lead Like Harriet. So both of us, we sat down just designing. We were there designing bookmarks and different things we wanted to put on the website. We're building a brand, and I believe God is guiding us on how to go about building a successful business. So my business is changing. I do have another YouTube platform where you see a lot of behind the scenes of the business. Right now, I just made some throw pillows. It's a collaboration with my son again. You could see the painting. My son loves painting, so the painting design is from him. I have this color. I have different colors available. You can see these are beautiful home decor throw pillows. So you guys could get that on the website. And also look at our mercs. Look at my sweater. I am wearing "She is clothed in strength and dignity." This is Proverbs 31:25, right? 31:25. All these could not have happened if I did not put God first in my plans and decision. Now let's get into today's video. If you haven't yet, grab a cup of tea, get a notebook, because today it's all about information on the unemployment currently in Canada. We're gonna go back to fall last year. If we looked at the unemployment rate, I feel it was about 9.3 or 6. Let me find my notes. Okay, so basically what I will be doing, I will focus on comparing Alberta and Ontario because I'm familiar with these two provinces. I'm from Toronto, those of you who don't know, and then I moved to Edmonton, Alberta. Now the unemployment at the time when I left, I feel it was 5 or 6%. I have a video on my platform about that. And the government had a campaign trying to attract people to move to Alberta because they believe Alberta was a city a lot of people from other provinces should move to establish businesses. I did come, right? But we will get into a bit more information on what I feel people should do. Depends on what industry you're trying to find employment, whether or not Alberta is the right province for you to migrate to. The biggest things I am experiencing is some of the universities, they do not want to accept certain credentials from another province. I feel that is something the government should really work on. I was trying to get into a social work program because I needed to complete my placement, and they wanted me to start over more than 3 years of education for me to do my placement. I was not in agreement with that. Basically, the marks they're using here in Alberta could be different from universities like University of Toronto. I went to York University, and I had to be back and forth with Alberta University to get that looked up. Last year, November, Canada's national unemployment stood at a 5.8. However, we were looking at the provinces, Alberta and Ontario. The unemployment rate for these two provinces was 6.3. It was above the national unemployment rate. If we're looking at September 2024, I'm going to divide the cities. Edmonton unemployment rate last year was 9%. That is very high for the population they have here right now. And that's September. It shows that there is an increase because August it was about 8.9, and then September you're seeing about a 9%. Now Calgary's unemployment rate, which is a bit closer to Edmonton, was lower. Now my question is, why is that? The unemployment rate in Calgary lower than Edmonton. I want you to do some research on that. Check the labor market information and see what is actually going on. I feel it has to do with a lot with the immigration, accepting a lot of newcomers here, and there is not enough employment for them. We're accepting people, and English is not the first language. I feel the government need to create programs where these individuals have accessibility to learn English as soon as they come, as opposed to waiting, and it impacts the unemployment rate here in Canada. If we're looking at Toronto, Ontario, we're seeing Ontario data at 6.3%. Now, there are factors that impacts unemployment rate. Like I said, immigration is one of the biggest one, but we're also seeing some other factors that could contribute to this. We're seeing the economic diversification contributing to the unemployment rate here in Canada. Alberta's economy is heavily reliant on the oil and gas sector, making it more susceptible to global price fluctuations. So here, I know a lot of people that work in oil, and honestly, it is one resource Canada is trying to keep very tightly. We're seeing that tariffs right now, that 25%. What is going to happen to the employment rate here in Canada right now? The businesses that depend heavily on goods from the US, what will happen? Are we going to see an increase in the unemployment rate? I feel the statistical data in the next 3 months will give us a vivid look on what is currently happening. Will the government increase the minimum wage for each province? If there is increase on the different foods that are out there right now, what about the cost of living? What is going to happen to the mortgages? What is going to happen to employment? We need to sit down and have a conversation and find out whether or not the government will increase our wages, because that is something important. Small businesses, like a lot of small businesses, will impact because we try to support our local suppliers here in Canada. However, these suppliers do get their products from the US. I decided to take a trip to, and I asked them, what is going to happen tomorrow? This morning I went there, I was like, what's going to happen tomorrow with the prices? And the guy said, well, see, everything here at Uline is from the US. Even at Costco, I could not get inside of Costco. People were waiting to get carts because they wanted to purchase things they know they usually have. And the problem is they don't know how much they were going to pay for it tomorrow. I always try to purchase Canadian, and some people, when they come here, or if I'm preparing something, they'll say, oh, you buy the most expensive maple syrup. No, I have always been someone, I love supporting local. If any country I am in, I will support local. I love supporting Canadian suppliers. If you look at my other YouTube platform, every time I have an unboxing, I try to show where I purchase my products, and they're all Canadian suppliers. Don't forget, I am a Canadian small business right now, trying to establish myself. Due to medical reasons, I had to step away from my business for about a year, and now I'm coming back. I just want you to know I have some of the best products. I've been working day and night, my son and I, and you will be seeing a transition with my business, and I have to thank God for that transition. He has brought my talent out in so many different ways that my brand is no longer a bath and soap. It is filled of faith-based products, and I still do have my bath and body line, but they're more faith-based right now. Okay, now the population here in Canada does also contribute to the unemployment rate. Now, rapid population growth in cities like Calgary can lead to an increased competition for jobs, potentially driving up the unemployment rates. A lot of companies, they try to access people from different countries to work here at a lower cost, because Canadians, I will tell you, If you have a store, Canadians will ask you to pay them a certain amount of money. But for the companies to accept people from other countries, they have to submit something to the government or LMIA. This allows the employer to hire foreigners to work here. I will tell you something. I will create a video for you if you are someone from a different country working here on a work permit. A lot of employers do take advantage of the foreign nationals working here on a work permit. If you are here on a work permit, please pay your taxes. Find out information on how you could establish yourself here. Do not just come here and work for someone because they made you pay $2,000 plus for work permit. Listen to me. Get the information you need to better yourself. If you come to a first world country, try to establish yourself. Get as much information as you can to build yourself. Become an entrepreneur. Do not just work and send money back to your home country. You have to start educating yourself about Canada's systems, Canada's policy, the government, immigration. It's very important to do things like that. And here on Darcy Kane TV, we're going to touch a lot on employment, entrepreneurship, professional development, especially when you are an immigrant here in a first world country. I feel a lot, like 90% of us were immigrants. Policy decisions do contribute to unemployment. Government policies at both provincial and municipal levels can significantly impact the unemployment rate here in Canada, influencing factors such as business, investment, and job creation. Does the policy contribute to unemployment? Of course, yes. We do see a lot of cuts happen, especially in the non-for-profit organizations where you see a lot of programs for youth, a lot of programs for housing. I just got a notification from the government for child subsidy. There is going to be some changes to the subsidy you are going to receive for a child, whether the child is at kindergarten to child school age or no after school programs. There is going to be changes here in Alberta. I'm not sure for Ontario as yet. When I decide to touch on that topic, I will see the comparison with the other cities and tell you which city is providing you the best benefits as a person, as an individual who have children, or as an individual who's looking for employment. Now let's focus on the 25% tariff, okay? The potential impact of the 25% tariff increase, we will see slow down in the economy. The Bank of Canada has warned that such tariffs could lead to significant economy downturn, potentially pushing the country into a recession. I feel now if the bank is speaking about a recession, I remember when I first came to Canada, that was about 2008. Canada was going through a recession, 2008 into 2009. If this is something that is going to happen again, I could tell you we are in for some dry butter and bread season. Honestly, butter and bread tastes really good when you grill it, when you roast it. But a recession right now, the way the economy is, the way we're seeing the immigration, I don't think Canada is ready for a recession. But this is what the bank is saying. We will see an increase in job losses because we have a lot of Canadian companies that depend on products from the United States. We also have a lot of American companies here that do hire Canadians. And we can potentially see something like a Martin Luther King, the boycott. A boycott of people not wanting to work for American companies here in Canada. I have seen a lot of videos on social media where people are speaking of not purchasing products from the United States. We are now supporting locals. Now the question is, If we begin to support our local businesses that grow fruits and vegetables and use the natural resources here to develop the business and fill the stores, will we see some changes in the prices? Because I could tell you some Canadian products could be quite costly. I do like the maple syrup though. I do like that maple syrup. That particular maple syrup is very tasty, right? But it's something to think about. Like, we have 3 months. Honestly, I have been saying in the next 6 months, something is going to happen. I have been saying that from December, not from December, from the fire in LA, I said in 6 months, we're going to see something. I know it. Something is going to happen in 6 months. From that day, that 7th of January, something is going to happen. 6 months from the 7th of January. I have been saying it. I've been feeling it. And God has a way of speaking to people. I'm not sure what it is yet, but I will say, start preparing yourself. Give your life to God. Start giving your life to God, honestly. Okay? Now, job losses. Industries heavily dependent on exports from the US, such as automotive and manufacturing sectors in Ontario. If you are from Ontario, you will know you work in those factories. I worked at a few factories in Ontario. I feel I've worked at the Campbell's. I've worked at the Vitrons, all these big factories, the ones that have the cereal. I know a lot of people in Toronto that works at the cereal one that is on Western Road, around there, Western Road and Steeles. Cereal, a lot of these cereals, they're not Canadian. They are not Canadian cereal. So we will see changes. All I feel people should be asking the government right now, is there going to be an increase in our salaries? I feel that is important with the changes. Maybe Canadian government is going to do something like that, so it does not impact us that much. This is just me thinking. Then we will also see an increase in consumer prices. The prices of food will be going up. So Alberta, I feel right now, the fact that the tax in Alberta is 5%, maybe the other provinces will look at a lower tax to compensate the 25% that is happening. Maybe there will be some tax changes happening. Maybe in Alberta it's not going to be too bad, because 25% plus 5%, that would be 30. Oh my goodness. Wow. So $100. Oh my goodness, that is not good. What will the prices of food be? I went to Costco and I looked at the prices. I made sure I walked through the aisles and I recorded the prices of everything, because tomorrow when I go, I want to see what changes. The before and after. I have created videos on the past of walking inside the entire grocery store, comparing Toronto to Alberta. Now it looks like we're gonna be comparing the before Canada to the after Canada. Canada versus, what's his name? What is that president name? What is his name? I don't really follow his video. What is the one that just got elected? Trump. Yeah, that's his name, Donald Trump. I don't really follow his news, but he's making changes right now, so I have to actually read, because I have a child and my child is going to be spending 4 years during his time. I personally have no issues with people. I try to understand why changes are being made, What God said is, don't make nothing of this world trouble you. You live according to his word, and you don't make anything of this world trouble you. So I live my life according to what God is saying. We may go through some challenging situation, but when God is at your right hand, I can tell you, freedom is there, safety is there, triumph is there. Now, understanding the nuisance with the unemployment rate across the different provinces, trust me, I feel it is so important for you professionals here in Canada. You need to start navigating the market and searching for career opportunities that has longevity in it. I will create a video and speak about different industries that will continue to have employment during a recession. That is it. What type of employment you could secure right now as a professional that will not get impacted by a recession or by the AI creations, these new evolutions and technology. What type of employment that is out there right now for you to start doing to ensure that you are not one of those who becomes unemployed. I will say, however, some of us, we can become unemployed due to medical reasons or due to traumatic situations that happen in our life that has imposed certain things on us where we cannot work. Mental health or disabilities, things of that sort. I will keep all of you in prayers so that God heals you. That 25% tariff does add another layer of complexity with potential widespread of economic impacts. I see a lot of people with fear in their heart. Fear is not of God. If you're fulfilled with the Holy Spirit, it's not of God. What is happening right now, but I say unto you, if you believe that you could triumph through a recession, if you believe that God will fill your cup up, then it is time you speak out against what is happening. With time evolving, I believe everyone should stay informed of everything that is happening right now. This is how you are going to see a better tomorrow. Get the information, develop your professional self, learn as much as you can. Everything is evolving. What was yesterday is no longer there, or if it is there, it has modernized. So I encourage you to start implementing new strategies into your daily life. There are some different places you could get some resources. I'm going to share that with you. Alberta Economic Dashboard, the unemployment rate section. You could get information from the Statistic Canada for labor force, the labor force survey that was done November 2024. And the Bank of Canada cut rates warns of economic shock from trade conflict. It's a trade conflict that is happening. I want you to join me in another video. This video is lengthy, but it's very informative. It's a trade war. It's a trade war that could lead to potential recession. See you in my next video. Don't forget to support my son. Bookmarks. See you guys. Bye.